Welcome, everybody, to The Hook on Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital network, live from MyBookie Studios. It is Monday, April 5th. Welcome to the show. I'm your girl, Pilar Lastra. To my left, we've got D-Mac. To my right, we've got Tom Mazzawey. We've got Fish in the Fishbowl, Eazy D behind the glass, and our boy Luke manning our social media. So make sure that you're hitting us up at Woodward Sports Network across the board. Also, my friends, make sure that you are giving us a call, 313-552-6322. We have got an awesome new segment that we're going to start to play daily on the show. It's our Hall Financial Baseball Trivia. Every day, we're going to be giving away a new prize. Today, it's a $100 gift card to oh my gosh, what was the name of the
Detroit Wing Company?
Detroit Wing Company. Come on.
Detroit Wing Company.
Scott, I told you
I
that you haven't had them and you would never have the greater wings in your life.
I know. I'm going to order them today right after the show, and I'm going to go have some. That's going to be our dinner for tonight. So all you have to do is guess all 4 of our trivia questions correct, and you, my friend, win the lucky prize. And again, today it is a $100 gift card to Detroit Wing Company. So give us a call, 313-552-6322. Fish, do you have something fantastic for us?
Yeah, it's not just any Monday, Paul. You know what Monday it is? You guys disappoint me. It's Easter Monday.
Oh, Easter
no one knows.
Monday.
Stick didn't know. Joey didn't know.
But I'm not, it's because I've heard this Easter Monday, but I'm just not quite sure what it means.
Is it like Boxing Day? The day
No,
after Christmas?
Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's just the day after Easter. It's not a federal holiday here, but it is in other countries.
In my country,
it is in Canada.
But I'm not
It
in
is,
Canada.
yep.
That's why I'm here.
Right.
That's
so
good,
I don't
Fish.
know. I mean, do things go on sale on Easter Monday?
I don't know. All I know is I
Things are
woke up and
closed.
watched the last 20 minutes of sports this morning.
Yeah,
so it
things
was
go on
fun.
sale. Easter candy.
Oh,
Well,
there you
I'm
go.
all over
That's
Easter
true.
candy today.
Yeah.
All over it.
All the little chicken peeps go on
All the
sale.
peeps, they're like a quarter now. Peeps are a quarter.
Those are so
Chocolate
good.
bunnies are $1.
Oh my goodness! I
Have
just
at
saw
it.
one of my girlfriends. She posted on one of the social media things where it was. She laid all the peeps down on a baking pan, and then she put Rice Krispie treats
Ooh,
on it.
That's smart.
Oh my goodness! And then she put like another layer of like drizzled chocolate type stuff on it, and then she made her own little Peeps Rice Krispie treats.
That's smart.
I don't know why I'm so hungry today. All right, Maz, let's get straight into your
Because you don't eat anything.
sports update. I eat everything. Are you kidding me? That's my problem.
Yeah, you sure do. You sure look like it.
I do. You know what? It's because I'm
110
chasing.
pounds.
It's because I'm always chasing 2 little babies around.
That'll
That's
do
why.
it. That'll
I'm
do
like
it.
I'm like shoving my face and chasing them at the same time. All right, Maz, get to your sports update.
You got it. Happy Easter Monday, everybody, and of course the fish as well. This update brought to you, as always, by our good friends at MyBookie. Tonight's the night. It's the national championship, right? Get your bets in at MyBookie, and don't forget to use the promo code Woodward. They'll match your first deposit halfway up to $1,000. That's free money. Go and get it, especially tonight. 68 entered. Just 2 teams remain. National championship night from Indy. The preseason 1 and 2. You heard Dickie V on Friday with us. We could have just went right then and there and played the playoff game. We could have played the championship game right when it started, months ago, because these are the 2 teams that were picked for 1 and 2 in the year. It's Baylor and unbeaten Gonzaga. The Bears there for the first time since 1950. The Zags trying to become the first unbeaten champ since the 1976 Indiana Hoosiers did it. They beat Michigan that fateful night. Neither team has won a national championship, by the way. Gonzaga favored by 4.5. We're going to show you how Saturday night went. What a game between UCLA and Gonzaga. Tonight favored by 4.5. The Zags are. Tip set for 9:20 on CBS. Stanford beat Arizona 54-53 in the women's national title game yesterday. Their first championship since 1992. Tigers and Twins underway. They had about an hour delay for rain. Right now, Tigers wish it was washed away. 6-0 Twins right now in the 3rd inning. A grand slam for Nelson Cruz. Jose Urena started for the Tigers. How about yesterday? Tigers rookie Akil Baddoo. I happened to be at this game with my daughter Abby. It was kind of a weird Easter. Family is scattered all over. So I said, hey, Abs, let's just go to the Tiger game. So what happens? Good old Uncle Drew gives us his tickets for the Champions Club. We're sitting up there enjoying ourselves. Akil Purdue stepping up for his first major league at-bat yesterday. Remember, we talked about this guy.
First pitch swinging. Deep left field. Way back. Storybook home run.
Here's his parents.
Look at that.
How about that?
Oh, he shot him with a bow and arrow.
You know,
nice.
I saw Eddie Rosario do that for the Twins in his very first at-bat. And Akil Purdue,
as possible.
Wow.
And you
just great stuff. Great stuff. And later on, we're going to show you, they got to, thank you to, by the way, to Bally Sports Network for that. Matt Shepard on the call on that one. We're going to go a little bit later. We're going to have the little interview they did in the stands with the Purdue family. And, of course, they couldn't be any prouder. Tigers lost that game, by the way. Angels pitcher and outfielder Shohei Ohtani put on a show last night against the White Sox. He started the game with a 101-mile-an-hour fastball, and then he hits a baseball. Well, I'll let you listen to it.
First pitch swinging.
Oh, and first pitch crushing! Oh, man!
Oh.
Listen
Wow.
to this thing. Listen to this thing.
Oh.
Beautiful.
Exit velocity, 115 miles an hour. So he throws a 101-mile-an-hour pitch, hits it out of the park at 115 miles an hour. Yes, that is a pitcher and a player in the American League, Shohei Ohtani, who, by the way, had surgery last year. This guy is amazing. Angels wind up winning it. Of course they won it at 12:30 at night. I'm still watching this damn game. Look how it ended.
One of the great stories on this Angel roster this year. Wall sends it well out to left center field. And it's gone!
I mean, usually when the guy pimps it, it's a little, he pimped it out the goal. Usually it's gone a little bit more than that, but he knew his distance.
I love Matty Vasgersian's call. A-Rod said he knew it. He was pimping the bases. That's Jared Walsh. Write that guy's name down. He is going to be a star, and the Angels win it in extra innings, man. Great baseball. I'm so happy it's back. Pistons in OKC tonight taking on the Thunder. They lost by 44 at home on Saturday night against the Knicks. I'm watching this game, and I'm not watching the game. I'm watching, of course, Gonzaga play. So I go on my app. I go to my bookie just to see what the Pistons' odds are. In the second quarter, they are down 45 points. The Knicks were minus $20,000 at that point. So if you wanted to bet the Knicks to win 100, you would have had to lay $20,000. They were up on the Pistons by 40 points in the second quarter. They wind up, of course, winning it by daylight, by 44 points. What an embarrassment. See if the Pistons can bounce back tonight. Killian Hayes back in the lineup. Of course, their first-round pick. Wings snap their 7-game road losing streak. There they go. Lose one, of course. Come back the next time. They beat the Lightning 5-1. Taken away by How about that? They're skating around there. NHL trade deadline next Monday. By the way, more than half of the Vancouver Canucks have COVID. Here's the kicker to this. We're going to talk about it later. The NHL could be looking at another playoff bubble. That's the word, and it's, of course, only if they need to. They're saying that's the last-ditch effort, but they might get another bubble. Hopefully not. And guess what? Another Michigan player exiting stage left. This time, defensive back Hunter Reynolds has put himself in the transfer portal.
Wow.
The favorite of Dickie Vitale. Loves that transfer portal. And
Right.
we take you back to, I think, the greatest upset in college basketball. I got to play these upsets. Go back to 1983, way back when the great Jimmy Valvano and the NC Wolfpack trying to pull the major upset over Houston.
Down to 14 seconds.
Oh, almost stolen by Drexler. Boy, is he good at
They've
that.
got to drive to the basket. It's down to 7 seconds.
You can see the time. Wittenberg. Oh, that's a long ways.
They won it.
Wittenberg. Oh, that's a long ways.
Let it keep playing, Easy. I want to see Jimmy V run around the court.
They won it.
Look at him.
Give me a hug. Give me a hug.
Look at
Somebody,
him.
somebody,
Looking for
give me a
someone to
hug.
hug.
Who wants to hug me?
That's the man Dick Vitale loves, and of course the V Foundation, named after that man right there, Jimmy Valvano, his beloved NC State Wolfpack. Shock Houston in 1983. Still one of the greatest upsets in college basketball history. And tonight we see Baylor, can they pull the upset? Only a 4.5-point favorite are the Gonzaga Bulldogs. To me, that spread's low. That tells me take Baylor.
We'll get to that later, Maz. But, and a couple things, too, that you brought up during your sports update about it'll be exciting. But obviously, Akil Baddoo, anytime you do the first, it's not just that, it's his first home run, first pitch he's seen above A ball.
Yeah.
And I love it. I just love the fact that if he can bring some enthusiasm and some vigor and stuff like this, it's such a great story. And to have your parents there, too.
That was the best part, seeing his parents' reaction.
Yeah, I remember I scored my first goal at Joe Louis Arena against Bob Essenza.
Ooh, Bobby.
Bob Essenza. It was Keith Primo and Sean Burr. Took a pass on the right top of the circle and beat Essenza low glove side for my first goal.
Wing.
Yeah, that's later that year.
He became a wing.
So that you always remember your first, and so it was so important. I wanted to, before we go to break, I wanted to end that with is that, making those accomplishments. For me, I buried that puck with my grandfather. So it was something that he.
That's beautiful.
He saw me play in the minors. He saw me play a game exhibition of Joe Louis, but he passed away.
What's Gramps' name?
Bob Pritchard.
Man.
Yeah, Bob Pritchard.
That's great, man.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's really great.
But that's where it
beautiful
belongs.
Story.
Well, that's for and that's just my for as far as where I wanted to go. Like a lot of times, the memorabilia and stuff like this, I give it to certain people so they they know that. So or bury it with certain people. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. But it's great for the memories.
Lynn Henning joins us later from the Detroit News. Knows the Tigers inside and out. Knows the story of Akil Baddoo. So we'll have a lot to talk about with Lynn coming up a little bit later.
Yep, so stick around. Before we hit our break, D-Mac, how was your weekend of betting this weekend?
You know what, guys? Guess what? Cha-ching, D-Mac hit another golf bet. There was no NASCAR, so and a shout out to my boy Eazy on Friday because we were prepping the show, and he's like, "Dude, Friday NASCAR picks," and I was like, "Easter, don't worry about it, but I like your style." So actually, my boy that we picked this week to win, Jordan Spieth, his first win since the 2017 British Open. There's my man. That has been battling, and golf's a finicky game even for the pros. He lost it. We took him this week, plus 1,200. But just for an example on this, as now moving into this week's tournament, it's in Augusta, Georgia. It is the Masters. Now, Jordan Spieth, right, 3 weeks ago, was plus 6,600 in the Masters. After his win yesterday, he's now plus 1,100.
Oh yeah.
The Masters are coming up this week. It's such an exciting week for golf fans. I know I'm playing I'm playing a golf charity tournament on Sunday that is surrounded around the final round of the Masters and stuff. And so odds Wednesday, we will be breaking that down. There's a quick look at the different odds on favorites. Now, there's a lot of different guys. I'm going to break it down into different pools. And
who was your guy from a few weeks ago you said look ahead at?
Oh, Patrick Cantley. And I took Justin Thomas. So we already got them on long odds at 2,200. But nice. I'm going to delve deep in for Wednesday for bringing those picks. But before we go to break, a couple things because it was Easter's. 2 things I found on the interweb that I loved. I found I want to adopt this Easter bunny. Him and I got some things going on. Check that guy out. Easter in the front,
hair.
Party in the back. If anybody knows that bunny, give me a call. And this one I thought had to be great. It's my boy Brad Kozlowski from Rochester Hills, and the number 2. That is the real Easter photograph for anybody who's had family photographs. Show the real one there. Easy, where that's the one that's always doctored. Yeah. But shot back to the other one because Pilar having 2 little kids trying to get those pictures and stuff. Like. That's why I love Brad.
What's Brad saying right now during that picture?
He'd just get it over with, right? The wind died down. We are. And I brought that for you, Pilar, because that's my buddy who has 2 kids, probably not a little bit older than yours, but you can probably the wind and the pictures and stuff.
we did family photos right after my son was born. I mean, he was maybe 3 weeks old, and it was a nightmare. But it was like our entire family. I mean, there was like 20 of us and all the kids. It was, my husband and I were like, we just want to end this with a mimosa. Like, mimosas, if everybody gets this done, mimosas on us. We were dying.
That's
because
funny.
we had the youngest kids, and it was a nightmare for us.
I just saw a stat for whatever useless information, but mimosas and champagne and orange juice was like one of the highest things that has gone up during COVID.
Whoa.
Really?
Is the purchase of like mimosas are suddenly on the radar.
Everything has gone up.
Every kind of alcohol has.
I just thought Pilar should know that she set the trend.
We're within the trend, yeah. Well, that was kind of what we could, early morning, hurry up, let's get it done. Mimosas on us if you get this done, guys. Just one shot. It doesn't matter what we look like. Yeah, so I understand what that's like. All right, guys, when we come back, we've got the big hook, Baylor and Gonzaga. What do you think will happen? Hit us up on our social media at Woodward Sports, or give us a call, 313-552-6322. Also, get your fingers ready to dial and call in for our Hall Financial Trivia. It's going to be coming up shortly, so don't go anywhere. You're tuning into The Hook on Woodward Sports Network.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. And at Hall Financial, we treat our clients like family. And our number one priority is giving each of our clients 5-star service. Our passion for 5-star service, combined with our expertise, allows us to find the best possible solution for refinancing your home loan. We take the time to focus on both the individual and the numbers. We're going to walk you through the process and close your loan in half the time of our competition. Go to davidhallmortgage.com today.
Start a new career in an industry that is always essential, the heating and cooling industry. Learn more today by visiting northwesterntech.edu. All right, friends, so it is time for our big hook, Baylor and Gonzaga. First off, I'm not going to ask DMAC this because I know you were on the Gonzaga train from day one, so congratulations. Tom.
Yo.
Would you have ever thought that Gonzaga and Baylor would be playing for the championship?
They would have won 2 in the beginning of the year. We heard Dickie Vitale say so. Yeah, why not? They were supposed to be the best 2 teams coming in, and it turned out they were the 2 best teams coming in. And the other night was amazing. Baylor just ran Houston out of the gym. I thought they'd win. I thought they'd cover. I played them. The second game, everyone thought UCLA was going to get blown out of the gym, and that didn't happen. Matter of fact, they could have won that game just as easily as they lost it. It was amazing. What a finish. We're going to show you the highlights of that. I forgot to send it over to Eazy, but I'm sure you could find it for us eventually here. But what a night. Mac, you watching that game with your friend? I was watching it with my buddies at my house. We didn't even go out. We're like, just come over. No one's home. I'm a bachelor. Come on over. Let's order pizza. Let's have some snacks. Watch the game. Man, was it fun watching that game. It felt great to have it, because we all thought, not me, kind of in the background, kind of thought maybe might be a blowout. I did pick UCLA with the points, and it turned out to be the game of the year. Could have been one of the best games of all time in a Final Four. I mean, there's a lot of them that I show you throughout our time on the air here. But that one's up there. That's top 5 probably, Mac.
Oh, yeah, front to back for the full game, both quarters. I watched the beginning of it and was like, okay, UCLA is going to go back. It was apparent that UCLA knew that they had to control the clock, that they couldn't run up and down. I think if you watched the game the other day, it was such a battle on both ends. And coming out of that game, obviously you got to see, hey, the question that we all asked, if Gonzaga got tested, could they respond like they're supposed to if they're undefeated and they are supposed to be this great team that's going to set history for the first time, almost 40 years or so? The fact of the matter is this UCLA team is the one that you should say fought and clawed and did what they needed to do, especially at the point, second half, they're down 7. You think, okay, here's a run or whatever. They never went away, and they continued to hit shots. And Jajamba, or what's the kid's name? Juzank. He continued to be hot, just like
he's
beat
MVP.
Michigan.
He's the MVP of the tournament, if you ask me.
Exactly. And you look at how Riley, their center down
Juzank again with the ball in his hands, in the paint, floater, short, got it back, ties it with 3. Gonzaga has time to do something. Suggs for the win. Oh yes! Oh yes! Unbelievable! Unbelievable! The perfect season remains on go.
Are you? And the fact that I think it's the mentality when you hear more along the lines, and anybody who watches tonight's coverage, at least the pregame coverage, you're going to hear the backstories on all these kids, which is such the great thing. But football
if young Metro don't trust you, I'm gonna shoot. Beautiful morning, yeah, the sun in my morning, babe. Nothing in the water. Beautiful morning, yeah, the sun in my morning, babe. Nothing in the water.
Powerhouse with all the money, the Dukes, the Kentuckys, the UCLAs and stuff like that, starting to become a destination piece. And it's all about the story, because you look at the team, that Team A kid, the number 2, the kid with the bandana, he made a couple great defensive plays. The smart basketball, and the fact why I love this game and why it could arguably be one of the best college basketball games start to finish that we'll ever watch, is the compete level on all 10 guys on the floor. It was just unbelievable for it to end that way. That's Cinderella. Congratulations, Suggs. You just made yourself a shoe deal, probably. So we'll see what happens tonight. I got Gonzaga, Pilar, to answer your question, though. I got Gonzaga beating the pool, but I think Baylor wins tonight. I think
really?
You know what? I look at it, it's the establishment versus the street ball gang, and it's going to be unbelievable basketball, and they're going to push each other because they're going to open it up, and the best of the best. There ain't going to be biding time, feeling each other out. They're just going to be like, we're here, and it's going to be, to me, I expect more of a, like a park game than I do, and not because it's physical, because of it's highly talented and guys being able to score out. How do you pronounce his name, Mazzawey?
Oh, don't ask me, please.
Okay, so number 3,
whatever.
Whatever. How quick this guy is off the ball, right? Like his move to the hoop. I mean, there's amazing talent in here. So, selfishly, you're looking for not only if you have, pool viability, if this matters from winning the toilet to winning the top prize in your pools or not, or the fact that maybe we're going to see some future Pistons in this game.
Oh, man, it's going to be phenomenal. 9:20 tip-off on CBS tonight. The Zags and the Bears. Neither one of these teams has won a national championship, so somebody is going home with the hardware for the very first time today. It's a great matchup. Mark Few, terrific coach. He's been with Gonzaga for all these years. I think he's been there 17 years. Don't tell me that no one has been knocking on his door to come to their big schools. He's stayed there, man. That's what you got to love about this. Then you got Scott Drew, who was Homer Drew's son. Remember those guys from Valparaiso, and they made their run, and Drew hit the winning shot, and his dad's on the sideline. Now his dad's in the stands watching his son coach. It's just great stories all over the place. I really, truly look forward to this. I hope it lives up to the back in 2016 when Villanova played UNC, and I'll have a cut on that. Matter of fact, we could bring that up right now. Eazy, go to my This Day in Sports. Bring up 2016, which I think is the greatest finish of a college basketball national championship. How about this game? No, not that one. That was 1983. 2016. Villanova.
They're going to have to do something from the outside now. It's Page off balance. Puts it up. How did he do that? Ties the game with 4.7 seconds to go. The floor, I would say. Look at the kid there.
Wait a minute.
Climb the step ladder.
With Archie Diacono. 3 seconds at midcourt. Jenkins gives it to Jenkins for the championship. The national champions with Jenkins hitting the Diacono. 3 seconds at midcourt. Jenkins gives it to Jenkins for the championship.
You see that? Perfect play. tell you, it was like a Statue of Liberty. Follow me. I'm going to drop it back to you. You know, it's like an Oklahoma sweep. You know, like a quarterback throwing it to the tailback. If the game could be like that, I'll be a happy man. That would be phenomenal.
I hope it is going to be that way. I was looking on Twitter, all the social media. People's biggest concern isn't just who's playing, right? People aren't upset about it being Baylor and Gonzaga. Everybody's hoping it's going to be a phenomenal game because everybody's complaining about the fact that it's 9:20 Eastern.
Right.
So if you're not in the West Coast, it's going to be a really late night on a Monday. People got kids.
That's the way it is.
You can't really like drink and have a good time.
Especially it's Easter Monday, right, Fish?
Easter Monday. Easter Monday. Fish, what do you got for us?
It's always at 9:20 Eastern.
So it's, wait, what?
The national championship is always at 9:20 Eastern time every single year.
Well, they're complaining about it this year a lot.
Let's go to our
On
resident
a
time
Monday?
complainer. How do you feel about the 9:20?
I've always stayed up for the national championship game every year.
It used to be at 8 o'clock back in the day, Fish. Back when Larry Bird and Martin.
Hey, wait.
that was a long time
Fish,
ago.
you were like... See, your parents were probably 10 years old at the time. So
please, don't listen to him. Anyway, it's been 9 o'clock for a long time. It is what it is. That Villanova game that I just showed you, I actually fell asleep watching it, and I had to rewind it. It was 12:30 when that game finished.
Yeah, you stay up for that game.
12:30. That game went forever. I'll never forget it. Forever.
I did that one time for the
I have to admit it. It's the truth.
The World Series. I think it was it the Boston Red Sox that had that insanely long. It was like 4 hours and 15 minutes.
Yankees and Red Sox average 5 hours a game.
Oh, it was crazy. I remember I finally fell asleep, and 15 minutes later, they won the whole thing. I was like, how? I couldn't have just made it 15 more minutes. Like, what's wrong with me?
Well, I think you made a great point, though, Maz, getting back to this game a little bit, is that preseason, number one, and number two. And the fact that we both know they're uber talented, they're both well coached. It comes down to game plan. Like you said, you look at that last play that we said to win the championship for Villanova, it was planned out. It's going to come down to execution. And again, right? And Maz, I know you're like me too. Is that it doesn't matter when you get late in the game and there's free throws in any game. Like you feel a little bit of anxiety for all these guys, and it could come down to a free throw game. It should be very entertaining. Hopefully, it lives up to the hype.
Yes, and hopefully we'll have a lot of great highlights to be able to play here on our show tomorrow.
Oh, by the way, Pilar, Jonathan Chamwa Chachua is the greatest. Chamba Chachua. I thought I was watching Black Panther or something like that again. I was looking for the name. Either that or Star Wars. You know, I think it's the greatest name. Chamwa Chachua.
Was who?
Jonathan Chamwa Chachua. The guy who's going to be MVP tonight. We're going to have to say his name 8,000 times tomorrow.
Okay, you're gonna say it.
He plays for Baylor.
Yes, he plays for Baylor.
We're all gonna watch the game so we can all properly pronounce his name.
Brought it to context.
D-Mac, one more time with your chest, like it's your name.
Jonathan Chamwa Chachua.
There you have it.
MVP. What's the line? Bookies.ag.
Look it up, baby.
Let's go. MyBookie.ag. What's the line on him winning the MVP tonight?
We'll have to look it up.
All right, guys, stick around. Let us know your thoughts on the Baylor-Gonzaga game tonight. Hit us up on our social media at Woodward Sports or give us a call, 313-552-6322. When we come back, we're going to get into some MLB talk. Do you guys think that they were right in moving the All-Star game from Atlanta? Let us know your thoughts at Woodward Sports or give us a call, 313-552-6322. Do not go anywhere. You're tuning into The Hook on Woodward Sports Network. Welcome back to The Hook on Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital network, live from MyBookie Studios.
Gotta love those 15-second commercials.
It is a Monday, April 5th, and we're going to get into some MLB talk. So just before, though, I just want to point out, I get these little pop-ups from the Detroit Free Press, stuff like that. And, you know, on top of sports, they always give us the COVID update.
Oh, good.
Michigan reports 10,293 new coronavirus cases.
We're leading.
21 deaths over the 2-day period. Tom, vaccines are now available to everybody over the age of 16. So if that's something that you're interested in, figure out there's a lot going on. Mayors are trying to facilitate more centers being open, but whoa, I almost fell off my chair when I saw that. 10,000 new cases.
Not the thing we want to be winning in, Mass.
I know
yes. Tom Mazzawey.
I know that.
You know what though? And some
I was
people
being facetious.
I would say
we know you were. You got a good chuckle out of me over
yeah,
here.
I'm
some
glad.
people can get upset that we're joking about it, but we're not really joking about it. It's almost like a
not.
nervous
I had it.
laugh. Right, you had
I
it.
had it.
My husband had it. I mean, everybody pretty much
Your
knows
husband had it? Oh, by the way, how is he?
He is
He should
doing
be
very
resting
well,
still.
thank you.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
no.
He should be waited on still.
What? No.
He was allowed
He
upstairs.
might have a relapse.
He was-
Gotta take it easy on him.
What are you talking about?
Oh,
no,
yes.
he's back
Tom,
upstairs.
you've had it, so you know, right?
I know.
Yeah,
He
no,
can't
we don't
have
want
a relapse.
My
Well,
wife
look at
was,
Art.
my wife was
Art's
whipping
not
me,
here
getting
today.
back out there.
Heck yeah.
It could have happened. It could have happened
Oh,
again.
I'm worried now.
No, that's how I was in my household. I was like, oh, honey, do list. It was so long. Like, no, it's great having him back up. But fortunately, he's healthy. So yes, we do make jokes, but I feel like it's been such a long year with this whole COVID pandemic. People are so fatigued. So I mean, hopefully, you're just doing the right thing and taking care of yourself, taking care of your loved ones, and being courteous to everybody else.
Well,
that's the most important thing.
You know, the one thing I did hear this morning out of the governor's mouth, for what it's worth, is the fact that the cases that were in there weren't vaccinated cases. So it was all people that hadn't been vaccinated. So if that's what's on your plan, and everybody else, I know downtown, be responsible, and so hopefully we'll be through this sooner than later.
Right. And I don't push vaccines. I don't tell. That's a very personal choice whether you want to get it or you don't want to get it. But I certainly believe in giving people information that when it comes up, when it is available. So, all right, guys, let's get to some MLB talk. Do you guys think that the MLB was right in taking the All-Star game away from Atlanta after Atlanta passed their new restriction, their new laws on voting? Have either one of you guys read like the 83-page?
No, why don't you fill us in?
Yeah, I didn't read it either. Let me tell you something. But I was reading the New York Times did a really great article that I was reading, like the main highlights of it. And I feel what everybody's having such a big problem with is that Atlanta has now put you cannot be distributing food or beverages, so no water for the line of people. But it didn't say you can't take your own water. So is it really a big deal that you can't hand out water?
Well, Curtis Granderson went on CNN today, former Detroit Tiger. We loved him here in town. He's a great spokesman for the Major League Baseball Players Association, the Players Alliance, actually, as he's the boss of. And basically, they asked him back and forth about that, and he spoke about hot places like Florida, like in Miami, you know, and he doesn't want this to go around, you know, because it could be in Florida as well as in Georgia.
Oh, yeah.
Georgia is, you know, and these are hot places, and the people are waiting in line to do their voting, and they're not allowing them to stay hydrated. You know, you could have, you know, heat stroke, whatever it takes. Because I'm gonna let you listen to some of this. This was Curtis Granderson today on CNN. He could probably answer some of these questions for you. Give it a good listen.
Full disclosure, I almost never like any players who didn't play for the Red Sox, and I've always liked you. So thank you so much for being with us. It's a pleasure to speak with you. You like even more how you've used your voice since retiring. So thanks for being here. Look, what's your view on the decision by baseball to remove the All-Star game from Georgia?
Well, I commend Commissioner Rob Manfred. He's got the head of the job at Major League Baseball to make these tough decisions. And sometimes you're not always going to make everybody happy, whether the game stayed in Atlanta or it was going to potentially be moved out of Atlanta. There were going to be a lot of people that were going to be disappointed at the decision. And I commend, again, Rob Manfred for reaching out to different individuals, different entities, different groups, including the Players Alliance, to just gauge and get a pulse of where everybody was at. I think all that went into him making that decision, which he ultimately did.
Well, he got your pulse. You spoke to him before the decision was made.
Yeah.
What did you say to him?
So I told him that we had had a chance to talk to some of our members of the Players Alliance, and just for everyone out there, we comprised of about 150 current and former black ball players. Plus, we have a lot of allies, our non-black brothers that have played alongside us, both on the field, off the field, and everywhere in between. And we got a chance to communicate with them, and it was, as you can imagine, guys on both sides of this different thing, voicing their opinions, and we were able to provide that insight to Rob. So again, I appreciate him reaching out to us, because as he's trying to understand what's going on, you definitely can't forget the players that are going to ultimately be playing in this game, because all eyes are going to be on them, whether they decide to take the field or, if they're disappointed at the decision, decide to remove themselves from this game, and how that's going to ultimately affect them. So letting him know that, letting him understand that, he was also listening, he was receptive to it, which again, we appreciate.
To that point, do you think players would have boycotted the All-Star game? Do you think players would have refused to play had it been in Georgia?
I think people have to realize and remember that players are more than just players. Although there's a lot of young players right now, some in their 20s, their parents, their grandparents, especially from the state of Georgia, were there during the civil rights movement, were fighting for the right to be able to vote, to be very similar to other citizens. So if you really take a pulse and look at that side of things and go, okay, I'm a young ball player getting a chance to ultimately play in my first All-Star game in this great city of Atlanta in the great state of Georgia. And my parents and my grandparents were going through these different things and these battles to give me the rights to be here, to be on this stage with everybody, a place where Hank Aaron got a chance to play, one of the greats in this game. It makes it very difficult for some of those guys to go ahead and make the decision and say, with everything that's happening, I'm going to go ahead and take the legacy for my family and step on the field for this game. So from that side of it, it was those messages that needed to come across to be understood.
And look, that would have been a big deal. I mean, that's something that had to weigh on Rob Manfred. It's a big deal if 5, 6, 7, maybe more players don't show up to the All-Star game. And baseball's All-Star game. This is, this is the All-Star game. It's different than other sports there. What's your specific, or what are your issues with the Georgia voting law specifically?
Well, I think when you look at a couple of the different things in there, I know a lot has been made about the IDs and the food and the water, but particularly with the food and the water, the Miami Marlins, for example, them as an organization did that effort during the November election. They went out into the community as a team, as an organization, to provide food and water to those in need. As you can know, being down in Miami, possibly during that time in that heat, some of our elderly coming from some of these communities of color, being able to make sure they stay hydrated, to make sure there's no issues, especially when you look at the statistics in terms of the wait times, typically for people of color. On average, when you're a black person, your wait time to get a chance to vote is about 5 to 10 minutes. But when you're looking at a lot of the individuals of color, their wait times can be excessive over an hour. And if you've been to Florida, you've seen the humidity, you've felt it, you've been out there, and to be able to wait in line in some of those times can be challenging, and also can be a hindrance for you to get an opportunity to vote. Now we also add in a bunch of the other different things, the elimination of the mobilization to be able to bring voting opportunities to those that make it very challenging to be able to go ahead and vote, to be able to step in and ultimately change who's ultimately counting the votes in these certain situations. So it's certain things like that that I think a lot of people are overlooking in these situations. And when you see it historically, it's always disproportionately with people of color.
What are your plans with some of the other states that are now considering perhaps even more restrictive measures? Texas now discussing doing away with ballot drop boxes, limiting voting hours, and other measures. Do you think players should consider not playing or taking action in Texas?
Well, our plan's starting actually in the state of Georgia. Even though the game is not going to be there, the Players Alliance is planning and had planned to go out there and be involved in the community, helping the young black kids get opportunities and get access to this great game of baseball, helping out the small businesses in there. And we're still planning to do that, and we're going to do that because we have a lot of players in the state of Georgia. We also are going to look to go to the new All-Star city, wherever Major League Baseball selects and decides to go, and continue our efforts there. For those of you out there that don't know, we did a 33-city cross-country tour over the months of December and November, including the state of Texas. We went to Houston, we went to Dallas, we were providing COVID products, we were providing baseball equipment, and we were also providing food to those in need during the middle of this pandemic. And in states like Texas, California, Arizona, Georgia, even if they do end up being in very similar situations, we still have it as part of our mission as the Players Alliance to still get out there, to still make sure the voices are heard, to still help those communities of color, and to be on the ground with those that have a better understanding of what's going on, to ultimately help try to restrict some of these situations that might come out.
I got to let you go. Got about 30 seconds left. But what do you say to those who complain, oh, this is just cancel culture? Everyone's boycotting everything right now.
I think a lot of it is getting a lot of attention. And obviously, again, some people are going to be very disappointed. But when you really take a stab at it and really take a look at it, if you don't stand up for this situation, there's going to be continued dominoes effects of more and more things to ultimately come about from this situation. So this is about everybody, not just the people of color. Even though the Players Alliance was founded and created by Black players, again, our allies are our non-Black baseball players and the communities that we go out there help and serve.
They certainly did cover a lot of ground there in that interview with Curtis Granderson.
John Berman was the host there at CNN New Day. He did a great job as well. I love Curtis Granderson. He is one of the most beloved Tigers. Mac, can you back me up on this?
Oh, I absolutely can, but I'll be also the guy to say, did anybody else think he had a bat in the cave there? Or
my gosh, so did I. That's awful.
No, I mean, Granderson is one of the greatest. He's probably one of my favorite guys to come through there. What you see is he's so well-spoken. He's up with it. He cares, right? Everything that he's talking about, he's one of these guys that, if I was going to compare him to somebody, he's like a Chris Draper. He's responsible, he cares, and stuff like that. I was just wondering, I know somebody online said it, but okay. I didn't know if it was that or broken septum, but again, bottom line, we got that out of the way. Bottom line, though, is, a guy, when you see he's the president and leading, and what he said is with their Players Alliance, but they also, where they're all about, helping each other no matter what color they are, and right is right and wrong is wrong, and they're going to get ahead of it. The one thing I also like to hear was the fact that it's current and former, right? That's where the information, that's where the culture and moving forward. So the one thing beforehand that I was listening, and you asked Pilar, you said you read the New York Times. I was listening on the radio to some of the stuff, and I was confused because I thought and understood it coming into today, like Manfred went out on his own and made a decision. But no, it sounds like he was well-informed and made a decision that would benefit more so the players than the league. So, with anything going on like this in COVID, obviously there's ramifications, but as long as it's pure intentions and they're working towards what is right ultimately and what is wrong, then it'll come through. But to your point, Maz, Curtis Granderson, probably one of the most respected athletes to ever play any sport.
And Lynn Henning will join us from Atlanta. He's now in Atlanta. He used to be here in Detroit, of course, and he'll have plenty more on this.
Yep, so do not go anywhere. We're going to take a really quick break, and when we come back, we'll have Lynn Henning from the Detroit News columnist who will be joining us. You're tuning into The Hook on Woodward Sports Network.
Morning, Art.
Morning, D-Mac.
Welcome back to The Hook on Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital network, live from my bookie studios. It's Monday, April 5th. Before our break, we played a clip from this morning with Curtis Granderson speaking his thoughts on the MLB taking the All-Star game away from Atlanta after Atlanta passed their new restriction laws for voting. Joining us now, we've got Lynn Henning from the Detroit News columnist.
Hey, Lynn.
Hi, Lynn.
Hi, Pilar. Hi, Darren, and hi, Maz. Yeah, and I'll just correct you, Maz. You're half right. I'm in Georgia, but I don't live in Atlanta. I live down on St. Simon's Island, down here between Savannah and Jacksonville. So I traded an urban environment for a coastal environment, and I'm not complaining.
Sounds great,
that
Mr.
sounds
H.
beautiful.
Hey, I wanted to bring you up because you're way up on this stuff more than I am. But here's the kicker of it all. They're not making it easy for African Americans to vote going forward. There can be other states maybe hopping on board as well. Fill me in, because before I want to ask you, should baseball get involved in this? What exactly is Georgia doing, and maybe some other states?
Yeah, any American entity, in my estimation, should get in the way of what is an absolute intent to deny the right to vote to people that the legislature doesn't want voting, when it's, in this case, GOP dominated. And that's the nature of 253 such bills that are all over the country now in 27 states, and they're all GOP bills because they don't want people of color voting. It's real simple. They can try to fig leaf this thing any way they want, folks, but what they want is to decrease voter turnout, which in essence, of course, always benefits the GOP candidate. They're very unhappy in Georgia because in November they lost by 12,000 votes the electoral count for Donald Trump, and that hasn't gone over well around here. That hasn't gone over well in those other states that wanted Donald Trump reelected, that want the GOP to have an advantage, whether it's a senatorial race, it's a White House race, it's a congressional race of any particular flavor, or a state house race. They want decreased enrollment, particularly from the minority side, decreased increased voting rights and opportunities for those who would, again, vote alien to their wishes. And it's really sinister. I mean, it's so bad that they've taken away the responsibility in Georgia for local entities that have always been entrusted with this particular authority to run the elections in those particular counties. Now, if the legislature doesn't like it, they can overrule the Secretary of State, no longer put him in charge, even when he's as tried and true of a Republican as Brad Raffensperger was during this past election, and find those 12,000 votes that would have produced a different result in the state of Georgia. It's malevolent, it's mendacious, it's raw evil, and I'm glad that Big League Baseball is opposing it.
Lynn, do you feel that with the commissioner deciding to pull the All-Star game from Atlanta, part of the decision was this is the best decision to avoid any drama to later having to put the players in a position where some may boycott, some may not? So just by completely taking it out of Atlanta, there's no drama around this anymore.
I think there was one motivation behind this whole thing, Pilar, and that is the Major League Players Association really was the stick here. Rob Manfred, I doubt, of his own volition or of the owner's volition, would have upset the apple cart on the All-Star game. But the Players Association was adamant about this. And the Players Association is still, and Darren will back me up on this, I'm pretty sure, is still the most potent of all of the sports unions, the players' unions. Consistently, it carries the most clout. It has avoided, to this point, the salary caps that have been part and parcel of the NFL, the NHL, and the NBA. It has also a much stronger ability to influence social justice cases than the other unions have sought to do, with a possible exception of the NFLPA in the Kaepernick situation. But unlike the Kaepernick situation, again, here, the MLPA induced Rob Manfred to really take a tough stance and to do the dramatic. And I am in complete support of that. I hope more, again, of the corporate institutions in America do the same. In Atlanta, you have Delta, you've got Geico, you've got, of course, Coca-Cola.
Yep.
And they should definitely be doing more than just offering verbiage here. Because this is a denial of the most fundamental and basic right a democracy owns, the right to vote. They can, again, give you a lot of squid ink about what their rationale and their motive is. It is nothing other than to decrease the vote from certain blocks the GOP doesn't like. Raw and simple, admitted as much tacitly and openly throughout the GOP circles. They just don't want to publicly go on the record and express that overtly.
Lynn Henning, longtime Detroit News columnist, joining us. Nice to see you, Lynn, and thanks. And you are 100% correct as far as, and so people can relate as far as you go for the players' associations in each league. If you go Major League Baseball, and then you go maybe basketball, they're down here. Baseball is up there. They've established it, not only you mentioned through the contracts and stuff. So my point is that this isn't like little rumblings from the bottom. This is a bigger foot down by somebody very powerful. I'm wondering, do you think, Lynn, does this have the ability to the companies that you mentioned, or to have an influence in these other states that are trying to do this too, but also, because it's a Major League Baseball, because they're so powerful in the fabric as a players association, that just ruffles people to get behind them in a good way? Like, this is a positive thing sort of to happen because it happened so abruptly?
The only way you're going to get a line of dominoes to spill, Darren, is if you knock the first one over. And I think that was an important first step by the MLPA and by Major League Baseball this week. To do it, maybe not coincidentally on Good Friday. That's the day when Christians view not only the commemoration, but also the Christian core commitment to social justice. I found that to be a little bit more than just happenstance that occurred on the same day. But you now have something as big as the All-Star Game, something as big as the major leagues, something as big as the MLPA behind a movement here that is certainly going to pick up steam. And it's going to need to. But without the corporate partners, I suppose in some respects, Darren, to answer your question, I think the effort's going to be limited, maybe compromised. But you've served notice here now that they simply can't run and hide on this. Coca-Cola and Delta has taken a stance already and already had the state legislature threaten to deny some tax breaks, which just shows you how ugly this whole thing has turned, all in the name of denying people the right to vote. That's simple. That's the motive. That was the result being sought. And it should not be sustained, defended, or excused in any sector of America.
I absolutely believe you, Lynn, and it was done on Good Friday because, the timing was that way, and because everything you broke down to the people. I would just use the analogy before I pass it over to Maz, is that what you're saying is that Paramount, Sony, MGM is creating this movie, making this blockbuster movie, not some documentary company that we've mentioned, and using the analogy that this is something that they've really got the fabric, the domino. It's a big domino. It's not a little domino. So thank you for clarifying that. Go ahead, Maz.
Hey, Mr. H, I just wanted to bust in here, and I want to do the other side of this. As a sports fan, I'm not a politic. I don't like politics. I don't like them at all. And now it's invading in sports. And I know you and other people are saying it has to start here in sports because it's not going to go anywhere unless sports gets involved. I can tell you this. The NBA took a huge step back last year when they had their bubble, and they had Black Lives Matters on the court everywhere. They alienated a lot of people. And I'm not one of them. I watch all my sports. I really don't give a damn about anything else, to tell you the truth. I watch my sports because that's what I watch. That's my personal bubble. But now Major League Baseball, who's already suffering as a sport, people don't even know what baseball is anymore. There's no more Mazzes around. We're done. I have young kids here at this place. They don't even know who Shohei Ohtani is. They don't know. No one knows anything. I asked them about Hank Aaron. They're like, who the hell's that? Hank Aaron. This was supposed to be Hank Aaron's game. It was, 47 years ago yesterday that he hit home run number 714. That was supposed to be his celebration. Now sports is invading, and it pisses people off. And I'm afraid it's going to do damage.
Well, let me ask you this. I know you said that you don't like politics. Do you like democracy?
Of course.
Do you like the Constitution?
Of course. I do.
Do you find the right to vote to be something treasured and cherished and inalienable?
You know what kind of guy I am.
Well, in that case, Maz, then you've got to also accept the flip side here. That when those fundamental rights, far more important than any of our sports followings or any of our sports passions, are threatened, sometimes those threats have to be made manifested and obvious by a sports entity. That wakes people up. That's why we're talking about this today. Did people understand this on a grand scale maybe before Friday? Not necessarily. Did they understand what happened 8 years ago that sent all of this into motion when the Shelby case was overturned by the Supreme Court on a 5-4 vote, and no longer did these local jurisdictions have to get permission from the Justice Department to change the voting laws. This is what people have to know, far more than they care about Shohei Ohtani. I mean, it isn't going to matter in that respect, Maz. If we lose our democracy, we've lost a lot more than baseball, football, and basketball and hockey.
Lynn, speaking of democracy, and the credibility is what I feel has really been questioned now on both sides, right? You've got the Democrats who are unhappy, the Republicans who are unhappy. Everybody's just completely unhappy. What do you think needs to happen in our democracy to where both parties aren't questioning our voting system, something that's supposed to be the core foundation of what this country is now based on?
The only question or the only answer that really can apply to that question, though, Pilar, is a question. What party has had a problem with the vote? It's been the GOP. It was Donald Trump's party. It was the Georgia State Republican legislature. It was Georgia's Governor Brian Kemp who signed this. It's Greg Abbott in Texas, in a Republican state house in Texas. Check the 27 states that have all had a problem with the vote, and it's all GOP states and GOP governors and or legislatures.
But 4 years ago,
And so
it was people having a problem with President Trump being elected, saying that, you know, there was meddling in it. And I feel like every election, people have something to complain about when it's not the party you want to win. And how are we going to fix this?
But Pilar, there was a big distinction there. Our problem with the meddling 4 years ago is that it came from the Russians. Mm-hmm. GOP and Democratic existence was threatened by that. And so it wasn't a partisan thing 4 years ago. It was partisan in the sense that a lot of Democrats were upset with the Electoral College. The fact that Hillary Clinton got a majority of the popular vote by 3 million and still lost the election. There is that grievance, and that is an ongoing issue, but that is distinctly different from denying in a very intentional way on the state level the right for a lot of people to vote. I mean, you know, one of the most sinister acts of this whole Georgia legislative effort here is that not only have they created long lines because they've removed so many ballot sites and so many areas where the vote could be cast, but now it's an actual misdemeanor if you want to offer food or water or a Coke to anybody standing in line. How utterly dastardly is that?
That's awful.
And that's one party, though, Pilar. It's not two. And right. Those are just the facts. The Dems haven't been trying to deny anyone any votes. Republicans have been doing that because they don't like the fact that, frankly, Latinos and blacks and college kids, to a large extent, vote Democratic, and they want to prune them out of the process. That's the motivation for this, and that is absolutely 100% the truth, and they know it.
Right.
Who's going to get this game, Mr. H? We'll take it back to sports here for a minute. Who do you think is going to get the game? I think Texas can probably wind up getting it. Huh?
Detroit's out of the mix, and that's okay. I mean, I don't know how you folks feel about it. I mean, sure, it's nice to have one now and then, but it's not the biggest deal. I think it's important that towns get their turn, that teams get their turn, and I know everybody gets excited about it. But then if you want to do something on the level that Georgia just did, that can't go ignored or unanswered. And I credit, again, Major League Baseball and the MLPA for having the guts to do this, because social justice is about as important of a principle and value as Americans tend to regard. And sometimes it needs support that's painful.
By the way, Tigers are down 11-0 now. But yesterday, Akil Baddoo, the Rule 5 kid, hits a home run on the first pitch he sees. Tell us a little bit about him before we let you go, Mr. H.
Yeah, I knew when they got him in December, and the Rule 5 draft is kind of tricky, as everybody knows. What it amounts to is you can't always keep guys on your 40-man roster every year that you'd like to. And so if there's been some minor leaguers down there on a particular team's farm system, they've been there for 4 years or so, and they're still not on the 40-man, well, a big league team can come in and say, hey, come aboard. But of course, the condition is that you've got to keep them on your big league team the entire year. Well, not often do these work out for reasons that we can imagine. If a guy's really talented, he's going to be on the 40-man. And if he's not, the chances of him being able to occupy a seat on a big league roster for an entire year, are you kidding me? Those are valuable places. But once in a while, you get a kid who is so talented that your scouts have really gotten to like. And you think, this would be a good investment. And Akil Baddoo stood out like this right from the get-go. There's a reason, and I think the planets aligned here very, very nicely for Detroit. He had Tommy John surgery, and then you had the COVID wiped out season, back to back. That allows a guy to kind of get a little bit lost. But the Tigers had scouted him well. They knew he had a skill set. They bring him aboard, and I saw him immediately in spring camp. Of course, I had a couple of trips down there for extended time. And I thought, boy, this is a big bag of skills that this kid has got. He's got a very fast bat. He can run. He can play center field. He can play the corner outfield spots. You don't run into a lot of guys like that. And he's got power. He hit 5 home runs in spring, and nobody came close to that. So I think if you want to look at one of those once every 10-year deals where the Rule 5 draft really delivers a star, or in the Tigers' case, every 45 years you get something that's a little bit exotic, like Mark Fidrich in 1976, you might have Akil Baddoo in 2021.
Awesome. Wow. Mr. H, thanks so much for your time. We love having you on, and we'll do it again. Keep getting some sunshine down there in Georgia. Enjoy it.
Yes, enjoy.
I got a tea time tomorrow, but always good talking sports with you, Pilar and Maz, and Darren, as always.
Thank you, Lynn, and keep us updated. I think that was very educational of just what the brass taps right down to, and it's all of us, being human beings, being accountable. And I love it, and thanks for always, whether it's in the paper or live, giving us the knowledge. So enjoy the weather, bud.
Thanks, Darren. Talk with y'all later.
You got it.
Bye now.
Bye, Lynn. You can follow him on his social media, Lynn_Henning. Great stuff from him. When we come back, we've got a clip from Charles Barkley going on a great rant. I hope if you did not see it, you will definitely be able to see it here. So do not go anywhere. You're tuning in to The Hook on Woodward Sports Network.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Hey guys, D-Mac here, and before you freak out because I'm holding up a bottle of vodka because I don't drink, I got to tell you the story. So if you're going to hear from anybody about the greatness of 8 Mile Vodka, how it tastes on the inside, nah, you're not going to hear it from me. But what you're going to hear about is why Darren McCarty, being an alcoholic, can have 8 Mile Vodka as representative, because it's not the what, it's the who. Whether it's Georgie, whether it's Mikey, or their whole team, these are Detroit guys. These are my Detroit guys. So as all you go everywhere, I know they're all out and about to try this great vodka at 8 Mile. Know that it's not the what, but it's the who. Boom.
And we're back.
Welcome back to The Hook on Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital network, live from MyBookie Studios. It is Monday, April 5th. I'm Pilar Lastra. To my left, we've got D-Mac. To my right, we've got Maz. We've got Fish in the Fishbowl. We've got Eazy D behind the glass, and our boy Luke manning all of our social media. So make sure that you are chiming in on all of our conversations at Woodward Sports across the board of all of our social media. And, of course, that you guys are giving us a call. We're about to do a really fun segment for trivia. Get home with Hall Financial baseball trivia. So give us a call, 313-552-6322. All you have to do is answer 4 questions correctly. If you do, then guess what, my friends? You win a $100 gift card to Detroit Wings Company. So Detroit Wing Company. So give us a call. All right. Maz, it is time for our sports update.
All right, brought to you by MyBookie, and big news just in from Adam Schefter. Yes, I'm reading it off my phone. The Jets trade Sam Darnold, their former #1 quarterback, to the Carolina Panthers, who are picking 8th behind the Lions. They give up a 2021 6th-round pick and a 2nd and 4th-round pick next year in 2022. I'd say the Panthers stole Sam Darnold, and congratulations to him. He gets to the sunshine of Carolina, gets the hell out of the Jets, and it looks like the Jets are picking #2, and it looks like Zach Wilson will be on the clock.
A couple things before it starts, and we'll talk about after your update, but where was Chicago in this? And I'm so jealous. Adam Schefter texts Maz with these freaking trade things. Unbelievable. One of these days we'll have to have him on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How about tonight as a huge night in basketball? We've waited. March Madness, it's coming to a close. We get to be a little bit depressed tomorrow. 68 teams started this thing way back when. Just 2 teams remain, and it happens to be the preseason 1 and 2. It's Gonzaga and Baylor in the national championship. The Bears there for the first time since 1960. Gonzaga trying to become the first unbeaten champ since 1976. That was the Indiana Hoosiers. They did it then, and they beat Michigan, of course, in the championship game. Neither of these teams have won a natty. Gonzaga favored by 4.5. Tip set for 9:20 tonight. Yesterday in the ladies bracket, Stanford beat Arizona 54-53. The Cardinals bring home their first national title since 1992. Tigers and Twins right now. Game was delayed by an hour. Wish it was rained out. Twins all over the Tigers. It's 11-1. They are in the 6th inning right now. A grand slam for Nelson Cruz. And the Angels pitcher yesterday, Shohei Ohtani, put on a show, hit a home run, and, of course, that was 115 miles an hour out of the park. He also threw a 101-mile-an-hour pitch. First time an American League team used a pitcher to hit instead of a DH since 1976. Great stuff. Pistons in OKC tonight, taking on the Thunder. They lost by 44 at home on Saturday to the Knickerbockers. The Wings snapped their 7-game road losing streak. They beat the Lightning yesterday. They play the Predators tomorrow in Nashville. And on this day in sports, we go back to this day. My first national championship game here, watching it on my own here in Detroit. I moved here just like a few weeks prior to this game in 1993. Michigan fans, you might want to close your eyes on this one.
Chris gets a rebound, turns, and looks for Jalen for the outlet.
Chris travels, but they don't call it.
Michigan have to bring it.
Oh, he walked and the referee missed it.
Instead of going straight up the floor, he was veering towards our bench.
Weber brings it into the front court.
He saw the trap coming, and I think sort of like a deer in headlights, just panicked a little bit and dribbled into the corner, which is exactly what the Carolina defense wants you to do.
And as he pivot, he calls timeout.
Weber brings it into the front court. They have no timeouts remaining.
Oh, he causes too many timeouts. That's a technical foul.
He called a timeout. Michigan doesn't have any.
He takes the timeout. They're out of timeout. Technical foul. Technical foul on Michigan. They're out of timeouts. 2 shots in possession of the ball.
I was walking towards Chris, like, what happened? And then I heard Jalen say, he called timeout, and we don't have any left.
Oh man. 1993.
The only guy I didn't recognize there was Rob Pelinka, who's the GM for the LA Lakers.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, that's
Isn't
unbelievable.
that something? So, Pilar, that's an excerpt from the 30 for 30 on the Fab Five, which you now must watch.
It's on the list.
And,
a lot of catching
and
up
that
to
cool
do.
cat at the end there, Jimmy King.
Yeah.
That's our boy. That's Mazzawey, but we're going to have to talk to him sometime soon.
We already talked to Ray Jackson last week. We'll get Jimmy on soon. I didn't want to get him on today to bring this disgusting
Maz,
thing
you know
up.
what? Great job.
Thank you.
That's even some of the things that you don't do are even better. Jimmy will appreciate that.
Man, that was my first time here in Michigan. I'm watching a game by myself. All my family's back in Jersey. I moved here, and I watched that game. I'm like, oh, man, Michigan's going to win a championship. I wasn't even in radio yet. I was selling cars at that point. Man, that's the way my stay in Michigan started on that night.
All right, guys. So let's talk a little bit about this breaking news before we get to the Charles Barkley rant clip that I really want you guys to see. Do we like this? He'll be throwing to Robbie Anderson now, and that's pretty much his main target.
I just need to know what number Zach Wilson
DJ
jersey.
Moore.
No, what number is Zach Wilson jersey at number 2? The Jets Maz wants for coming up on his birthday, because that pretty much solidifies any of that. We thought he was going there, going to go Lawrence Wilson, but this pretty much says pretty much.
It's not pretty much.
And
it's done.
What do I think of that deal?
It's...
I think that Chicago obviously went after Dalton instead of Darnold, because this is sort of on, when you say it's more on the cheaper end, because I still think Darnold can play. Maybe Carolina, maybe the coaching down there, maybe a change of scenery, maybe the warm weather. Yeah. But I always like Sam Darnold.
Carolina stole this deal. I mean, I thought the Jets could get a 1 for him on draft day at least, and then I said, all right, hold on to the guy. Let Zach Wilson learn under him, and I mean learn under him. He's still got to teach him the ropes on how to be a rookie and all that kind of stuff. He's not going to learn a hell of a lot how to be a great quarterback, because Sam had no chance with Adam Gase as his head coach, and the Jets had a bare cupboard. He had no one to throw to. The kid was shell-shocked. I remember on Thanksgiving, he said he heard ghosts.
He saw ghosts.
He saw ghosts. I mean, it was bad for the kid. But I thought if the Jets would have held him, maybe had him play under Robert Saleh's system, maybe show that he could play, they could have got a number 1 for him. Instead, they get a they get a 6th-round pick this year and a 2 and a 4 next year. That's not enough.
Here's the thing. You got to look at Sam Darnold as almost a red shirt, double, triple red shirt freshman, junior, whatever, like this, as far as he's a rookie too.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing, is why they had to get him out of there, because he, as much as he's you got to teach him too. He needs to go to a situation, and Saleh at the Jets could have nurtured him if he was their guy, but obviously Zach Wilson is. So him going to Carolina with a change of scenery, he still hasn't had any potential. We got to get him mentally right first before physically you can show your talent. So to me, that if they would have drafted him with Sam Darnold, that's like having 2 rookies.
Right. It's the best thing for him to get the hell out of there.
Good to hear. Good to hear from the Jets.
He's going to improve, no question about it. Now he has to fight out with Teddy Bridgewater. See who wins that job.
Right. And I feel that, I mean, he's got Robbie Anderson there. He's got DJ Moore. Those are pretty much his only 2 main targets. But then don't forget, he's also got
Christian
McCaffrey, who's probably the best pass catcher in the league. So
if he stays healthy.
But we'll see how this works out for him. I like it. I think it's a great opportunity for him. I think it's what he needed. So we'll see. He'll battle it out with Teddy Bridgewater. I'm sure he'll win the starting job. But having somebody like Christian McCaffrey to really help you out there is huge for him.
I got an idea. I got a hunch. I haven't even looked at Twitter or anything. I bet you Alex Smith signs with the Jets and nurtures the next quarterback. Alex Smith is looking for a team. Guess what? Joe Flacco's gone. Sam Darnold's gone. Jets need a quarterback. What's his name? The Beard, your guy. He's gone.
Fitzy's
gone. He used to be a Jet. Alex Smith will be a Jet.
I like it, Maz.
Yeah, that's actually great. Even if he's not their starter, I think that he would be a great mentor. I don't think he's going to be their starter. We'll see. I don't see him being
He's
starter,
a winner.
But I like him a lot. All right, guys, so we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we've got that Charles Barkley rant and wrapping up the MLB talk, the political talk from the MLB taking the game out of Atlanta, the All-Star game out of Atlanta. So don't go anywhere. You're tuning into The Hook on Woodward Sports Network.
Hey, it's Joey from Woodward Sports, and I am here in downtown Fenton at Bridge Street Exchange. This place has so many amazing things for guys and ladies. This is the hidden spot that you got to come check out. I'm talking thorough good boots, best boots ever. They have barware. They got the Stormy Cromer hats. They got Carhartt hats, a huge Carhartt selection. They even got Snoop Dogg underwear. So go check them out, bridgestreetexchange.com, and use the code word WSN for 15% off.
All right, gang, tonight's the night. It's Maz from MyBookie. You know what to do tonight. It's it, the championship game. March Madness ends tonight. It's Gonzaga and Baylor, and you're going to bet it on MyBookie. They got all the games you want. If you don't want to bet that, you got NBA, NHL, NFL is going to be coming up before you know it. Major League Baseball. How many games a night do you have? You got your chance. You can bet straight, parlays, with the points, against, But do one thing right. Use the promo code Woodward, and they'll match your first deposit halfway up to $1,000. That's free money for you. The best part, you can do it on your phone or your computer. Just go to mybookie.ag, log in with Woodward as your promo code. Grab that free money. It's yours. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Good luck.
Welcome back to The Hook on Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital network, live from MyBookie Studios. I'm Pilar Lastra. To my left, we've got D-Mac. To my right, we've got Maz. We've got Fish in the fishbowl, Eazy D behind the glass, and our boy Luke manning all of our social media. So make sure that you are joining in on the conversation at Woodward Sports and give us a call, because we are about to get to our new segment that is called, or the official name, Get Home with Hall Financial Baseball Trivia, where you are playing for a chance to win a $100 gift card to Detroit Wing Company. All you have to do is answer all 4 questions correctly. So give us a call, 313-552-6322 to get in on the fun. So before we start playing our trivia, let's play this quick 1-minute rant of Charles Barkley and his thought of what's going on in this whole world of politics.
Shared that news, how painful it was.
Yeah, but the one thing I took out of that piece was, man, I think most white people and black people are great people. I really believe that in my heart. But I think our system is set up where our politicians, whether they're Republicans or Democrats, are designed to make us not like each other so they can keep their grasp of money and power. They divide and conquer. I truly believe in my heart most white people and black people are awesome people, but we're so stupid following our politicians, whether they're Republicans or Democrats. And their only job is, hey, let's make these people not like each other. We don't live in their neighborhoods. We all got money. Let's make the whites and blacks not like each other. Let's make rich people and poor people not like each other. Let's scramble the middle class. I truly believe that in my heart.
Love that guy.
I love everything about what Charles Barkley just said. And he's right. All these politicians, they're not living in our neighborhood. And he's right.
They don't give a damn.
Everybody,
They don't.
their objective is to put everybody against each other. And what I miss so much that I feel has just gone out the window is the whole secret ballot. I don't know if you guys remember, but one of the greatest things that I learned back in elementary school was that we had a secret ballot put into place to avoid conflict with your neighbors so that you can still keep your friends, because who you vote for is your business and nobody else.
Not anymore. Not with Twitter and Facebook and all that other crap that people put their words out now. It's a different way we live. It sucks, but that's the way it is. Kids know when they're not invited to a party, they're not out with their friends. It's just the way we live now. It sucks, but we got to get used to it. That's why I don't like my sports mixed with politics. I used to have my own bubble away from it. Now I got to hear, people and uncles and they don't even, that are far away say, oh, how do you watch basketball? How do you do this? I gave this up. I don't watch basketball. I didn't like Stan Van Gundy's stance. Well, go F yourselves. Just leave me alone. I'm watching my games. Leave them alone. I just don't like, but this is the way it is. Guys have their platforms. They go out, they say what they got to say, and you got to live with the consequences. A guy like Kyrie Irving, you got to live with what he says. He's got to live with what he says. It's out there, and I guess that's the new way to do things.
Yep.
It's not for me, though.
Let me ask you this, because sometimes I tend to agree with what Maz is saying. Is sometimes I just want to escape all this politics stuff, and I just want to watch sports and enjoy something that I really, really love, and that's watching sports. But as an athlete, do you feel that it's your civil duty to speak up for things that are injustice?
Not as an athlete, as a human being. I think it's all different. And this, unfortunately, where Maz has made it's true. It's a society that we live in, and the technology we live in is where we're at. So unfortunately, like you said, there's no more sort of secrets. There's no more this or that, but the fact as an athlete, it goes to more to being the human. Because now, what did Lynn Henning just tell us? that the reality of politics and sports is together. And you're going to lose your sports if politics takes over, because the democracy of the country, of the things Charles Barkley said, which is the way that I grew up in Leamington, Ontario, of in a melting pot and whatever, to not be able to understand where all this hate comes from elsewhere. And it's a lot easier when people don't have to live there. So again, it's always more like an athlete, is that if you played the game, you have a different perspective. Well, if you live in the same communities and stuff. So as an athlete, I think it's important when you feel that big. And this is as Lynn Henning said, this is all of our issue. And the quicker that, because I'll be honest with you, he explained to me exactly what more is at stake and everything than everybody else, because all you hear, Georgia voters. So when you're a sports person, you're like, why are you talking politics? And you immediately shut it off. But they use that as a ploy to get you disinterested. So it's important that the athletic and the people that we look to for our sports are informed, like the Lynn Hennings, like the Charles Barkleys, that goes to what I say. Don't tell me what, tell me who is telling you what, because I agree with them. And as an athlete, we surround ourselves with each other as far as getting the voice out, because it's power in numbers. And unfortunately, athletes, celebrities, musicians, artists, they have platforms. So it's using that platform. To answer your question more, Pilar, it's important as an athlete, if you have it, to use your platform for what you believe in. Because here's the thing, what you said. Be careful. You can say anything you want, but sure as heck somebody's going to record it, and you're going to be held accountable for it. So maybe tread a little lighter. And that's the accountability that today's day and age doesn't have, as opposed to when I grew up.
Right. Yeah, I think, Charles Barkley, the way he said it was just absolutely spot on. Yeah. And it does pretty much put the responsibility back on the voters, people that are not in politics, to say, hey, listen, they're playing you guys. Everybody's being played against each other to get what they want, and that's to turn everybody against you. Like, why can't people just respect other people's opinions? Why can't you be cool because you believe what you believe in? You be cool because you believe what you believe in, and I'm going to be cool because I'm going to believe what I believe in. And that's fine for everything across the board. If everybody would just say, that person believes this, cool. I have my vote, and I will do with my vote what I want with it. And that's it.
That's the way I am.
Everybody could just be
cool,
right?
It's the way I live. I don't get mad at you because you don't think the way I think. I don't care.
That's not true.
Be happy.
That's not true.
In sports.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, it is. In sports.
I like Tom Brady.
Well, you got problems. I can't help you. You're unhelpable.
Right. Thank you, Tom Mazzawey.
I wanted to set you straight. That's all. It's up to you. I think. Right. I can only help you so much. I can lead you to water. I just can't make you drink.
Right. So, all right, guys. Let us know your thoughts on everything that's going on, and ultimately, can't we all just get along? Can't we all just be cool?
We're going to get along because we have our contest coming up right now from Hall Financial. Don't forget, folks, interest rates are always changing, so now's the time to call Hall Financial. You don't know what's going to happen. Be smart. Make the call right now while rates are still low. You could be saving money and years on your loan. Hall Financial is fast. They do all the heavy lifting for you. Call them up. DavidHallMortgage.com to get started, and we're starting it today. It is the Hall Financial Get Home with Hall Financial Baseball Trivia. I'll tell you how it works. We give you 4 questions. If you answer all 4 correctly, we go around the bases. You're on home plate when we answer the phone. If you answer the first one, you're on first base. If you answer the second question, you're on second, third. Get home. Win today a $100 gift card to Detroit Wing Company and our good friend Gus.
All right, perfect. So we have got our very first contestant on the phone joining us, and I think we should just do, Maz, you'll start it, and then I'll go second.
I think you should ask the first question.
And then we'll finish back up with you if he gets all the way home.
All right, you want me to start then?
Who's our caller? We got Fish manning our phones?
Yeah, he doesn't know who's on because we have a little thing going on, so we'll just say, hello, caller, you're on the hook with Tom Mazzawey, Pilar Lastra, and Darren McCarty. What's your name?
Oh my.
Let's try that again. Who's this? No. No, that call's not good. We're going to have to try to call back.
Call back,
Yeah,
Brian.
try to call.
back.
I think he said Brian.
I couldn't even make out who it is.
I think he said Brian from Berkeley.
Let's put up another call
Is
there,
that what
Fish.
he's-
All right. Next caller. You're on the line. Who is this? Oh, my God. The phones aren't working today.
Oh, no.
Are we kidding? Who's this?
Oh,
It's a
no.
bad on our end. It's a bad on. Get Adam in here. Adam! Anyway, we can't
All
do
right, we
we
want
can't
to
do
try
it if
this
we can't
again.
understand.
We want to try one more time.
Let's
Let's
try
see.
it.
All right, let's try it. All right, welcome to the show. Who do we have? Man.
Damn.
Wah, wah, wah.
Here, I'll play it for you.
What do you want to give him an example, Maz?
Or do you want to try calling back and see if we just do this? Oh, we got Adam B.
We'll see if we can get the phones. We'll move this back. We'll
Yes.
go
That's
to-
fine.
Keep calling in. We're gonna get to this one way or another. We've got Adam B here working on our phones.
We can go.
Okay.
Do you want to go to D-Max Dust Up, or you want to do Magusta no Magusta?
I mean, let's go to. How about the Michael Rappaport cries on Undisputed?
Oh yeah,
That's
we
a
can
good
do that.
one.
That's a good one.
You remember?
I mean-
You remember the best segment ever from Friday with Fish as Kevin Durant and Luke as Michael Rappaport going at it in that Twitter battle. Well, today Michael Rappaport goes on Undisputed with Shannon and Skip Bayless on FSN on FS1. And listen to this guy. This guy's a ball buster. Well, not today. He wasn't.
That you've had time to really think about everything.
Oh, it's been crazy. It's been tough. The last few days have been tough. Have been crazy. I've gone out of the house and I get, sneers and I get finger pointing and I don't do good with sneers and snickers. And then I actually went to the dog park with my dog, and people that usually, say hello and even play with my dog, they don't want to play with my dog Eazy. And then, I went to my coffee shop and they said, not today, Cupcake. And it's weird. It's like, why are you calling me Cupcake? And then I get online.
You guys got to watch wrestling.
And social media. And,
wrestling.
I know I put it out there, but, people online have been so cruel and mean. And I have to say,
did he steal that from Seth Rollins?
I agree. It's got
AJ
to
Styles.
be a bit.
Easy. Which wrestler would that be? That's a Sami Zayn. Michael Rappaport is Sami Zayn. There's a conspiracy out there. Next thing you know, Logan Paul is going to be running in with him and stuff like that. Anyways, dude, are you kidding me? Maz, you couldn't have felt any remorse. Like, you told me he cried on Undisputed. I thought it was like my dog Eazy and this and that.
People don't want to play with me at
They
the
don't
dog
want to
park
play with me anymore.
Hey,
I mean,
what can I tell
think
you?
it's
That was
okay.
funny.
Hold on, Pilar. You're the San Antonio, you're the Texan. I'm Canadian. Matt, tell us about the New York. Like, what is it? He was 100% serious, or what'd you think?
He's not serious at all. As a matter of fact, I wish I could see part 2 of that. Actually, I didn't see the entire thing. I saw that just a few minutes before we came in. I had to grab it. Told Eazy, grab this cut. Let's put it on there. I'll let Luke look it up. Luke, look up Michael Rappaport crying and see if indeed there's a second half to that, or does he say anything past that? I had to at least put it out there for you
Well, it was
on a
great
last minute thing.
entertainment.
Wait.
It was incredible entertainment.
But so if you're going for clicks and it doesn't matter, at the he should do that, and then after he should look in the camera and just friggin' tell Durant to go, you know
Pull
what
his
I'm
pants
saying?
down and say, "Kiss my ass."
No, just so whatever to go back to it, because if he doesn't do that and I look into it and he just, this isn't a bit or whatever, this is him, then he's, everything that he's done being Michael Rappaport, the big 3, all that stuff.
This would kill him.
Controversial.
Yeah.
This would kill him.
And it's soft, so you got called a couple words, bro. You got challenged out at the street corner. Way to go.
He is like the bully of Twitter. I mean, the guy goes off on everybody. This has got to be a bit. I don't believe that. Those were what we call crocodile tears.
We call it a shoot.
Yeah, we call
shoot
those
in the biz.
crocodile
In the
tears.
wrestling biz, we call it a shoot.
Can I just say, Kevin Durant had a stadium of like thousands of people calling him Cupcake. Every time he played at OKC after he made the move to the Golden State Warriors. LeBron had guys burn his jerseys and just like wish. He had the owner of the Cavaliers write him an ill will letter. Like, how are you crying over like, bona fide bitch? I couldn't. You guys see me freaking out in the booth and the videos playing. That was driving me crazy. That's insane.
We think it's fake, man. We think it's like a wrestling thing.
I think it was almost him mocking the whole thing.
No, that's what that's what I would think he was doing, because then later on, if it's brilliant. We're talking about it.
Yeah,
we're talking about it. Any publicity is good, because again, it goes back to our other conversations about what we live in now. And Tom, unfortunately, right? We used to always be. Don't mix your sports and your politics. Don't mix your politics and your religion. Don't, right? We grew up with that. Well, the kids these days didn't grow up with that. Once technology hit, they didn't realize
it's a
that.
free-for-all.
So, and this is part of it, right? This is part of it. So it's all about the clicks. My question is, how many followers did he have before today, and how many do you have after? Because that's where it's at. I think it's funny though.
What's going to be even more great is if in a week from now.
That looked like Anthony's tears in the basement when you had to make him put his food out the egress.
If in a week from now he drops some new film or something that he's doing. I mean, there's something behind this. I just feel that there's way too much drama. That was completely fake. I don't believe a single bit of that. So I don't know. Let us know your thoughts at Woodward Sports Network, or try and give us a call, 313-552-6322.
We can't talk to you, but call us.
6322. Hopefully we will have the lines back up and running. We're going to take a quick break. Hopefully we'll be able to play our new trivia game, because we're awfully excited to play this. So.
I got great questions, for crying out loud.
I know. So don't go anywhere. You're tuning into The Hook on Woodward Sports Network. Welcome back to The Hook on Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital network, live from my bookie studios. All right, we're still trying to get our phones working to play our Hall Financial Trivia game, where you will get a chance to win a $100 gift card to Detroit Wing Company. And I'm really bummed because our phones are blowing up, and it doesn't seem like we can get a caller, but somebody's going to win this gift card. Maybe worst case scenario, we do two trivia games tomorrow.
Oh, so you want me to come up with 8 questions?
We'll figure this out. We will figure this out. You know what? I'm going to tell my husband to call in.
Just throw 20 down.
Here's the way we're going to do it, by the way. We're going to do it like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? You know how when they ask the $5 question?
Yeah.
Oh, am I off the air?
What color is red?
I'm just saying, yeah, they asked that's like the first question.
Yeah, the $100 question is what color is red?
Exactly. So
second one is which ocean is off of Florida?
Yeah, exactly. Good one.
Third one is who pitched the third game of the 1916 World Series at Briggs State or whatever.
Hey, we think our phone lines are up.
Yep, so you have to get all 4 questions correct in order to win the $100 gift card.
Give the number
to Detroit Wing Company, brought to you by our good friends over at Hall Financial. Again, the number is 313-552-6322. All right.
Adam's talking to them. I hear him. This is exciting. Woohoo! All right, put that graphic up.
What are the rules, Maz? Are we playing until somebody wins, or you get one
crack at it. We got Peter.
Okay.
Peter on the line right now on Woodward Sports on the Hook. You're on with Maz, Pilar, and D-Mac. Say hi, Pete.
Hey, hi, Pilar. Hi, D-Mac. Hi, Tom.
Oh man.
Oh man, it's still crazy, but it's better than what we've been able to hear, I feel like.
Well, we're getting there.
All right, let's try. Are we going to try this again?
This is a segment on its own. Bad phone calls.
We're really trying.
But you miss. It's not you get phone calls that are mean. It's just you're disconnected bad phone calls, right?
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, it could be worse. We could be listening to a guy like that on the line yelling at us.
We could.
That would be worse. See, always. Hey, remember,
and then we'll do like that Cleveland guy. The broadcaster from Cleveland.
Oh, yeah. You don't know nothing. You don't know. You're an idiot.
You fair-weathered idiot. That's what he
You
called
don't know
him.
who I am. You
All
are.
right.
Matthew.
All right, Matthew. Welcome to the show.
I'm betting against this.
Hi, Pilar, Darren, and Mass.
I'm a winner.
All right, let's see. Are we gonna try to do this call?
I'll try it.
Oh, it's
Matthew,
not
are you still there?
No.
No, he's
we
not
dropped
there.
him.
All right. We'll have to try this tomorrow.
Guys,
We'll
you know
start
what?
tomorrow.
Thank you for everybody who was
Thanks
calling
for playing,
in.
everybody.
Y'all call again tomorrow. Brian, Matthew. I couldn't get the other one. Peter's in you. And there was somebody else, but keep.
You're such a dick.
Keep calling. Thank you guys for playing along. Look at Maz's face.
Air
though.
pressure.
It's just like.
Oh, he's seething right now. Seething. Because you see how calm I am, Pilar? That's because Maz is we operate differently. If I see him seething, then there's no reason for me to get upset. Right? So and you know what? The one thing is everybody's trying to do their best. This will be fixed.
Yes,
for tomorrow.
We just got our new phone lines in,
look
guys.
at me. Look at me, guys. This will be fixed for the show tomorrow.
I love this. By the way, Tigers are losing 13-1 in the seventh inning.
13-1. All right, at least we didn't go to the ball game today. Could be worse.
Mike Broadwell's there.
Well,
he's not allowed to go anymore.
No, loss. Out.
That's right. Yep.
By the way, I watched Kong.
I did too.
And Godzilla.
Yeah.
With Maddie on Friday night.
Yeah, I watched it too, man.
I loved it.
It was great, wasn't it?
I know it got panned a lot. I loved it.
Well, you know what it was? Here it is. The Kong versus Godzilla, right?
Godzilla versus Kong.
Or Godzilla versus Kong. You get, right, if you go in there and with a little bit of history or not, they fill it in. Now, the story, whatever, it is what it is, but entertaining, something to get it by. No spoiler alert like this, but, when the Kong knows sign language and stuff like that. That's pretty.
That was sweet.
Pretty wild. But hey, little known fact that the young girl Jai, or that played the deaf girl, she's a deaf actress.
Wow.
She's deaf in real life.
She was such a cute kid.
She was a
You
star
gotta
of the
fall
show.
in love with that kid.
I would say, did Lily enjoy it?
Lily didn't. Abby, me.
Or Abby?
Excuse me, Maddie and I. Maddie loved it as well.
Yeah.
And we'll watch it again. And she didn't know anything about Kong and Godzilla, but she is a She's a massive superhero, Marvel girl and everything. She will go back and watch this 2, 3, 4 times.
I'm going to have to watch it.
But here's the one thing, right? Maz, is if you don't know anything about it, they do a really good job of fast forwarding, giving you a little bit of the history. And you know what? You mentioned you said Kyrie Irving. I thought flat Earth, but you know what?
That's right.
This is so much more believable, or something that could be too, I'm talking about, D-Mac, Godzilla, like fire-breathing nuclear dragons and a giant ape that hangs off the Empire State Building. That's reality. No, the center Earth makes more sense than flat Earth.
Yeah, it does.
I've got to watch it. I told my husband when he came out of the basement, I said, guess what we're going to watch on Sunday night? And he was like, you got a movie picked out? I was like, yeah, we're going to watch Godzilla versus Kong. And he was like, what? He's like, who are you? I would have never thought you would have asked to watch that movie. And then I don't know how it was, like he did like a switch and bait on me. We were supposed to watch it, and then he ended up putting on that Netflix movie, Operation Varsity Blues, the college admissions scandal.
Yeah.
It was so good. It was really, really good. So hopefully, we're not going to watch it tonight, but hopefully, because we're going to be watching the college game, but hopefully at some point I'm going to get to watch this, because I've heard really great things, and now I really do want to watch
it's good.
it.
They did a nice job.
I want to see who's going to win.
All these special effects were great. It's just, if you go in there and just want to have a good time, that's what it is.
No-brainer.
For
we
sure.
call those no-brainers.
I love movies like that. If you want something else to watch tonight, well, here's something else you can watch. Aaron Rodgers will be guest hosting Jeopardy tonight. Y'all like this or not? Is there any other athletes you guys would like to see hosting Jeopardy?
Well, let's watch Aaron Rodgers. We have the actual video of him starting the show here. This is Aaron Rodgers' intro. There's a little preview for tonight's show.
That's share the stage with the legend Alex Trebek.
Well, you got to start it over.
Something I will never forget.
Got to start it over when he comes.
And now,
there you go.
here is the guest host of Jeopardy, Aaron
Rogers.
Thank you, Johnny Gilbert.
Hey,
Welcome
Johnny.
to Jeopardy. As a lifelong fan of Jeopardy, it is an incredible honor to guest host. Now, I've had the opportunity to do a lot of amazing things, but winning Celebrity Jeopardy and getting to share the stage with the legend Alex Trebek is something I will never forget. Alex was such a gentleman, so smart, so precise. I was in awe, and I will work hard to honor his legacy. Scott, Brandon, Joe Beth, let's get in the Jeopardy round with these categories.
Can I get wide receiver for 1,000, please?
Right?
I'll take
Does he
stud
not-
quarterbacks for 1,000.
Does he not look like Colin Farrell here? Go back to that way. Not there, but when he was talking, I swear he looked like Colin Farrell.
But here's the thing
actor.
with Aaron Rodgers. He's got
Alex
the
was such a gentleman.
He's got the schwarm.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's got the schwarm of Alex Trebek, meaning schwarmy, meaning
In a good way.
Right, in the good way where he can pull it off. And the fact that he's won 2015 Celebrity Jeopardy obviously means a lot to him. And I like to see, guys, we see, you know, he can act in the State Farm commercials and stuff like that.
He's
So
great.
hopefully, I look at it that we get to learn a little bit more about Aaron Rodgers. One thing I did notice is that we all athletes all do the same thing when they're nervous. They rock.
They rock.
I do too. It's the ADHD.
Well, he's got to
What
get
other
behind his
athlete?
desk. When he gets behind that desk and holds on, he'll be
Dude,
fine.
he's a quarterback.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
supposed to be rocking. He's getting his head killed by defensive ends.
What other athletes would you guys like to see?
Tom Brady.
Oh.
Nah, I just said that.
Derek Jeter.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know that Tom Brady would be better than Jeter at this, right?
Probably, because
Yeah.
Jeter's very shy.
Yeah.
He's not into himself like Brady. You're
Tom
right.
Brady's a little bit more charismatic, but Tom
He's
Brady
an
would be. What is wrong with
That
you?
was way out of line. We weren't even going there. He's just, see what I mean? You can't even play with Maz anymore.
Yeah. You
know
can't even
who-
play with Maz anymore.
No, you can't. You know who? There's a couple, you know, guys that first come to mind, or whatever, like, or that you think about that might be able to get a shot like that. You know, somebody like.
Darren McCarty?
But it's not.
Yeah,
like
would
Jeopardy.
you ever
Would I
host-
do? See, Jeopardy's like I think a step above.
A couple.
Like I think Cannonball, you know, the stuff the Miz does, John Cena, you know, all those wipeouts, the ninja.
Wipeout, oh my gosh, I love
I even think
Wipeout.
more of you know, America's Got Talent or a judging the Go show than doing Jeopardy like that. Maybe if it was Weed Jeopardy. Yeah.
There you go.
Let's do it. Can of
I could
Jeopardy
see
with
you doing-
D-Mac. And by the way, whoever mentioned, yeah, check out. I got my boy J.R. Adams for my birthday. Somebody said I'm always wearing weed shirts.
Nice.
Hell yeah, I am.
That's nice.
Yeah, it is. So J.R.
That's
Adams
nice.
stunts.
All right, guys, let us know who you would like to see guest celebrity on Jeopardy. Who you would like to see be a celebrity guest host on Jeopardy. That's what I meant to say. Hit us up
7:30 tonight.
on our social media at Woodward Sports. Yep, you can watch that and then still have time to turn it around and watch the championship game against Baylor and Gonzaga.
Like an hour and a half later.
Yep, you have plenty of time to get all your binge TV time in. All right, my friends, do not go anywhere. When we come back, we've got Me Gusta or No Me Gusta. So don't go anywhere. You're tuning into The Hook on Woodward Sports Network.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. And at Hall Financial, we treat our clients like family. And our number one priority is giving each of our clients 5-star service. Our passion for 5-star service, combined with our expertise, allows us to find the best possible solution for refinancing your home loan. We take the time to focus on both the individual and the numbers. We're going to walk you through the process and close your loan in half the time of our competition. Go to davidhallmortgage.com today.
Welcome back to The Hook on Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital network, live from MyBookie Studios. Make sure that you are joining in on the conversation at Woodward Sports. From our last segment about Aaron Rodgers being a guest host on Jeopardy, we got people saying J.J. Watt.
That's the one I was thinking of who's out there and
Really?
stuff. But you know, he'd be more of a Wheel of Fortune guy.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
I think Wheel of Fortune.
He'd spin the wheel
I'd
off
be
the
more
thing.
Wheel of
Yeah, he
Fortune.
would.
I think Pat Sajak. That thing would break, right?
Yeah, it would.
Sure.
It would break.
Imagine that he spins it for when it comes down. The last spin of the thing.
How
and
about
it
Ryan
falls off.
Fitzpatrick?
Oh, he would
He'd
be
perfect.
great.
He's already a Harvard guy, right? He's an Ivy leaguer.
Would be
He can do it.
great.
He'd be
Easy.
perfect.
What do you think?
I think Shaq's like one of the most entertaining athletes like
Yeah,
all
you
time.
know.
He's hilarious, like no matter what he does. I think
Absolutely.
Shaq, or maybe even Charles Barkley too.
Yeah.
Oh man, Charles Barkley would be
nice.
great up
Good
there.
call.
Oh
We
my
need-
gosh,
we
that'd be a
would
good
need-
one.
We would need translation sometimes.
Remember what Charles Barkley? I don't know. In that rant that he did, he spoke very calm, very. He spoke very well. I understood every single word that he said.
No, that was good.
How about
Yeah.
Chris Collinsworth? You know, ex-athlete, you know, analyst. He'd probably be good at doing a game
What
show.
about your boy Al Michaels? How about
Yeah.
the guys on the guys at the broadcast guys you'd like to see there? Would you like to see him or Joe Buck or
Joe Tessitore?
You know who I'd like? Scott Van Pelt.
There you go.
Scott Van
Another
Pelt
good one.
would be good.
Another good one.
Yeah.
He does a great job.
How about Scotty Bowman? Only
Oh.
kidding.
No, he would
There's
be
a
Jeopardy.
lot of guys
he would,
that
he
would-
would answer everything.
Right?
He'd ask the questions and answer them.
Yeah, exactly. You
There's
know
a
that?
lot of guys that I feel would be really great. Michael Jordan.
I think
would
it's
do
great.
really well at this.
You know what the big thing is? Yeah, but the thing is the opportunity. And in wrestling, we call it forbidden door when the companies come together. But this is like being able to see something that maybe we'll see him in the future when he's done playing football.
Yep, for sure. All right, my friends, let's get to me gusta o no me gusta. Here we go. Vegas sets the NFL over-under wins totals, and they've given the Lions 5. Te gusta o no te gusta? D-Mac?
No te gusta. They're going over that. We got 17 games, man.
Yeah, 5 and 12 they're
5
saying.
and 12. We're going 6 and 11, baby. Let's go. No, I'm riding. I think that not only with the games and the culture and stuff like that, the thing is that unfortunately they might be better than they should be. Right, they're going to get guys to play for them and stuff like that. And what do I mean by that facetiously is that they may play themselves out of a top draft pick. So, but as part of building the culture, that's what I like to see because I'd rather see the guys here that I know that will be here, you know, building this team for a championship.
Right. Tom?
Well, Vegas usually knows. They pick 5. Usually they pick 6. So they think the Lions are even going to be worse than their usual 6 and 10. They're picking 5 and 11. 5 and 12.
Right.
I think the Lions are at least a 6-win team. I'm going to be with D-Mac.
Yes.
No
Yeah.
me gusta. It's
No
going to be
me
on the
gusta.
over.
I mean, really, I feel like they've got no expectations for the Detroit Lions. None whatsoever. All right, Eazy. Te gusta o no te gusta?
Me gusta. I feel like that's about right. To be honest, as much I am hyped for like everything we got with the front office and the coach, but we haven't seen anything on the field yet, from Jared Goff to even Coach Dan Campbell. I hope he does really well, but I feel like that's about right. And we get a higher pick too.
Hey, speaking of Jared Goff, we heard his girlfriend will be in the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue.
Oh,
coming
nice.
up. So Jared Goff, that never happened with Matthew Stafford, right? I don't think Kelly Stafford was in that, right?
But she wasn't. But to be fair, his girlfriend this is a lifelong dream of hers to be in Sports Illustrated, being a model and stuff like that. And obviously, reading an article about it, working on it, being Pilar, you can relate, living out in California for the last little bit. So, congratulations, a couple kids reaching their dreams.
I hated every single time I had to be in a swimsuit. It's so much work to want to be a swimsuit model. That was, I remember one time
I have that problem as well.
I was actually inside one of the issues of the swimsuit edition of Sports Illustrated doing a campaign for Wolverine boots. In their boots, an ATV, a bunch of mud all over me, and some Daisy Dukes and like a tie-up shirt. And that to me was like, hey, it's awesome. I'm in this great prestigious moment for models, right, to be in this issue. But I hated anytime somebody was like, oh, we're going to do a bathing suit shoot. And it was always because you're never tan on point. To be tan on point is very, very difficult. I was touring this media company that does like a lot of low riders and stuff that's out in California. And they had Steven Tyler show up, and he was doing a shoot for, I think it was like Triumph or one of the motorcycles. And they said, Pilar, why don't you just go over and do a quick photo shoot with Steven Tyler? Just go and grab your bathing suit real quick. And I was like, nah. I said no because I was like, man, this is going to be so much work because I'm kind of pasty, so I have to go and spray myself real quick, then come back. For some models, I don't think that it's the highest, achievement.
Pilar, yeah, but to each their own, and the fact is, Pilar, the truth is, if you want to have a great on point tan, you need to be a professional wrestler. They have the best.
They are a little over tan though.
But that's the point.
I know.
It's a lot of work. When I was on Deal or No Deal, that was like one of our things. We always had to be tan, and it was so hard for me to always be as tan as they wanted. I was always having to get a spray tan. Too much work. Too much work. But congratulations to Jared Goff's girlfriend for getting to be in the swimsuit Sports Illustrated edition, because that is a big honor for a lot of girls. Fish, ¿te gusta o no te gusta? The question was... Lions are set at 5, over under.
I'll go me gusta. I will say it's going to be a tough start. We're going to win like 1, 2, 3 games within the first 12 games. But we'll bounce back and hopefully get 6, 7, 8.
There you go.
Yeah.
We can't even go 8-8 anymore. That was like our high point, 8-8. If we're 8-8, that's a winning season here for the Lions. Now they got to go 8-9. 9-8 is like our watermark now, I guess, our watershed mark. I guess 9-8 is our goal. Go Lions.
I'm going to say no me gusta. I know that people have got zero expectations for the Detroit Lions. For me, I think it's a new beginning for us, and so we've got nowhere to go but up. I think we could very easily win 6 games. So I'm saying over 5 games. No me gusta. All right, guys, let us know your thoughts. Hit us up on our social media at Woodward Sports. And tomorrow you can give us a call, 313-552-6322. We're going to get our phone lines up and working. All right, do not go anywhere. When we come back, we have got D-Max dust-ups. So don't go anywhere. You're tuning into The Hook on Woodward Sports Network.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We're recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month. We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire a graduate of Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Welcome back to The Hook on Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital network, live from MyBookie Studios. It is Monday, April 5th. Thank you so much to everybody who tried to call in to play our new Hall Financial Trivia game. We're going to get this, all the phone bugs or whatever was going on, we're going to get that fixed. And tomorrow will be the official start of it. And is it still going to be the same prize? It's going to be a different prize every day. All right.
Same
so it's
prize.
still
We got to give it away first.
$100 gift card to Detroit Wing Company, which every time I say that name, my mouth salivates. So
the garlic parmesan, or listen, the Creole. Yes, Creole Parmesan boneless wings is a DMAC go-to with the side order poutine.
By the way, 15-1 Twins in the 7th inning over the Tigers.
Oh, boy. Well, our 2 wins were great while they lasted, right?
So, yep, we'll be 2-2 after today.
We celebrated it. All right, guys, let's get to D-Max dust-ups.
Oh, guys, this is a very, very, very good Monday. And what do I mean by that? Well, earlier on in Tom Mazzawey's update, he mentioned that, our Detroit Red Wings won a game yesterday, 5-1 against the Tampa Bay Lightning, right? They'd lost the night before, the first game 2-1. They came back-to-back, won. But what is imperative about that? And I think we got some highlights of the game yesterday, so you can
a chance to clear the puck out of the zone. He was not able to.
So as you see, a couple goals, 1-0 early, and then this is in the second period here.
Larkin has been on it today.
All right, anyways, Anyways, the whole point of the matter is that the Detroit Red Wings broke. Listen to this, Pilar. That was their first win in Tampa Bay yesterday since February 17th, 2011.
Wow.
Over 10 years.
Wow.
You know
How did
what?
I miss that?
And you know what it makes sense of it? Unbelievable. First win in that barn in that time. There's actually two guys, Victor Hedman and Steven Stamkos, that are still on the Tampa team. Obviously, the captain, assistant captain, two of the best in the league. Detroit, the only player that has been there consistently is Darren Helm, but Valtteri Filppula was on the roster back in 11 and has come back after playing in Tampa and in Philadelphia. So Jimmy Howard got the win. Pavel Datsyuk back then got 2 goals, and Dan Cleary had a goal and 2 assists. So congratulations to the Red Wings for breaking that. But here, Pilar, I'm going to bring you a little dust up. It's like a little combo sack right here that Maz found. And this is sort of an old school, but it's imperative here. So here's a real fight. A real fight. And I want you to pay attention to the guy in the red because his name is Jamie McCowan. So this is the Calgary Flames versus Vancouver Canucks back in the day.
Old school.
Old school.
They don't miss.
Smart guy, of course.
So this is where they're talking out. There are 2 guys, and here we go. This is old school.
Whoa.
Wait, they're not done. Battle,
Oh my
battle,
gosh.
battle.
Oh
Now,
my God.
McCowan, we used to, hack and whack, right? In '98 when we won the Cup, Bob Rouse and Jamie McCowan. Now, Jamie McCowan is like the epitome of what you wanted your 5th defenseman to be. They'll still go. And stuff like that.
Wow.
There he is, 1998. That's Jamie McCowan on the right with our very own Larry Murphy. But, that goes to the point that in the dust-ups, that looking back, that different guys play different roles with organizations. Some of us were lucky enough to win cups with the ones that we came in with, but that doesn't always happen. So Jamie McCowan was an integral part of him and Bob Rouse on the back. They had to play against the Dale Hunter, Chris Simon, Craig Berube line.
Dale Hunter was a goon.
Right. You have to have 2 stalwart, like rock solid guys that are physical like that have that old school. They looked like a gunfighter, a cowboy, because that's the way the game was back in the day. So
Were they both right-handed? Do you know?
Hunter's a lefty.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So naturally
Because
lefty.
I was saying, because that would they both were swinging with their right hand.
I'm going to show you a good one of mine back in the day, both hands. Because
how about those?
How would it be? I would say because they're both doing right hand punches. So I would. Wow. What would happen if one was, I guess, left-hand dominant, but they just keep punching with their right? This is
Pilar,
insane.
I'll show you because I'm a lefty.
Wow.
And I'll show you what happens when you lefties fight righties, maybe later on this week.
Oh, I want to see this now.
There you go. I got you interested.
So I just want to see who gets hit the most. I mean, with you, obviously, they got hit the most, right?
I tried because the good Lord said it's better to give than receive.
Yeah.
Oh.
But that brings up, though, Maz, to the fact that as they're coming later in the show about what happened in Vancouver, right?
I know.
In the hockey and
half the team is out, and they had to pretty much pull up the stakes in Vancouver. 16 Canucks down with COVID or COVID tracing. Most of them have it. Some don't. Some aren't even showing. Some are asymptomatic. Some are battling. They're saying some guys are really fighting it. Some guys aren't even feeling it. But nonetheless, they can't play, and it's going to be a while yet before they get going. And the NHL is going to have to look at this and say, who did they play? Who did that team play?
Mm-hmm.
So before you know it, who knows? They might put a stoppage to the season for a while to clean it. Or I heard worst case scenario is they go to another bubble towards the end of the season, which nobody wants.
Really? I would think that because of the efficiency that they had last year, and it's like a playoff tournament, that guys would be into it. Because usually when it comes to playoff times anyways, you're spending the night before, you're at the hotel, even when you're in town. It's all about that playoff time. In hockey, I don't think guys would be too upset about that, and because they have a track record of what happened last year and how successful it was. So
I want to get into this more tomorrow.
Yeah,
I might even have
we'll
somebody
talk
on.
about it more, and
NHL
I'll
people.
make a couple calls and ask around about what guys these days are feeling about it. But that would be my mentality, to be like, all right, hopefully a 2-month vacation, where, because most of the time, all these playoff teams, I know we got kids and stuff like this and little kids and stuff, but unfortunately, Pilar, if you're married to at least a Red Wing, or at least me, then during the playoffs, it would be like I was COVID tested for 2 months.
Remember Mike Milbury caught flack for saying something similar to that.
What's that?
Last year. Remember, he said the players would probably be better off without the women in their lives.
Oh,
what he meant is,
no, he don't
That's
ever
what he said.
say
That's what he
that
said.
I said something but
I didn't
almost
say
like
that.
Mike Milbury.
I'm just saying, no, it's the same thing. That's what he meant.
All right, guys. Well, we'll get more to this tomorrow. It is time for us to get to who ya like.
But he's canceled.
Before you two start duking it out, who you like?
Oh, I want Maz to start because I looked at this pick tonight and he has got the utmost confidence. So I'm just going to ride the Maz train because I like all his 3 bets here tonight.
Here we go. Easy tonight. We're going to end the college basketball season by taking Baylor plus the 4.5 points against Gonzaga. We're also going to take Baylor even, straight up. They are plus 168. So put 100, you win 168. And I like the over 159. So bet all 3. If you can get them all in a parlay, even better. Maybe put 2 in a parlay, bet them straight up. I like Baylor to win, even. I like Baylor plus the points. That's just an extra bonus. And I like over 159 tonight. Go to mybookie.ag. Put your bets in.
All right. D-Mac, are you in on all those?
Yeah.
You like them. All right.
Yeah, and here's the thing what Maz says is don't be afraid to mix them up, because you can hit 2 out of the 3 bets and still make money.
Right. All right. Easy D, who you like?
I like the points on the sorry, I was making sure I wasn't muted. I like the points on the Baylor, like Maz said, but if you're doing money line for the championship, I think Gonzaga's they're destined to win this thing, in my opinion, watching them. So I'll take the points from Baylor and Gonzaga money line.
All right. Fish, who we got?
All right, we have, you want to go, all right, you're going first.
Okay.
You're going to Australia.
I love it.
You're picking Central Coast Mariners in soccer. They're playing Western Sydney tomorrow.
Okay, we're going the Mariners.
You're going the Mariners,
All right,
yeah.
Go Mariners.
They're in first place. They're looking good. And then I'm going to France. I'm picking Monaco over Mets tomorrow in soccer.
The Mets are in France?
Yes, the Mets are in France.
My Mets?
Yep, New York Mets are in France.
Oh, wee. All right, guys, that will do it for us today. Thank you so much to our friend Lynn Henning for joining us from the Detroit News, one of the greatest columnists around. Make sure you're following him on his social media, Lynn_Henning. Thank you so much to all of our listeners and viewers who were trying to call in. We're so sorry that you guys weren't able to get through, but please keep calling. Tomorrow we will be playing our Hall Financial Baseball Trivia to win some great prizes. It's 313-552-6322. All right, guys, for D-Mac, for Maz, for Fish, for Eazy, for Luke, I am Pilar Lastra. We'll see you guys tomorrow.